Welcome everybody. Maurice here back for another Power Pack training, Total Profits Now. Today, we're going to take to get your first social media marketing agency client. I know a lot of you guys are wondering, perhaps you're just purchased a course, or maybe you just got started in social media marketing, and you're wondering, how long does this take? I've been at this for a week, 2 weeks, months, and Maurice, I still don't have any clients, or I'm thinking about getting started in SMMA. How long does it typically take for me to get that first $1,000 to $2,000 a month client? I'm ready to get paid. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this whole video through, I'm going to reveal to you some things that you need to be doing so that you can get clients immediately. And also, I'm just going to give you the shimmy, the real deal on how fast or how soon or how slow it's going to take you to get your first SMMA agency client, okay? And it really boils down to a couple things, ladies and gentlemen. And if you really understand how business works, then you can dictate when you get your first social media marketing and when you get your second one, your third one, your fourth one, so you can fire your job, get out of debt, and live a phenomenal lifestyle. It's all predicated upon you and your actions, okay? So let's get into this thing, all right? First, how long does it take to get your first SMMA client, ladies and gentlemen? Is all predicated upon the action you take. Okay, the reason why most people, 98% of the people, have zero clients is that they're not taking action. Okay, meaning that they don't have a schedule set up every day where they're making their cold calls, where they're reaching out and getting in front of potential clients, business owners. You're not DMing, you're not doing your LinkedIn strategies, you're not sending cold emails or whatever strategy you're doing, you're not manipulating the system on a consistent basis. Ladies and gentlemen, the action you take will determine the results that you get. No action, no results. No action, no clients. No action, no income. No action, you got to continue to work a job. So the first problem that I see in most agencies today, why they don't have a boatload of clients, is they don't take action. If you ask them, how many cold calls have you made? What have you done? Have you bought a course? Do you got a coach? Are you taking action? What are you doing? And most people, the sad reality is they're not doing nothing. They're just watching YouTube videos. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when you watch the YouTube video, you got to get off that YouTube video, turn that YouTube video off, and apply what you learn, okay? So that you can see some fruits and you can start to plant some seeds and reap some harvests, okay? But it's all about action. So if you're looking at your Rolodex right now, you said, Maurice, I have no clients. I can guarantee you're not taking enough action. You're probably only making a few calls, okay? You don't probably know a script or have a script. If you're making cold calls, cold calling, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you, is probably the fastest way to get clients. And most people want to circumvent picking up the phone and getting in front of business owners immediately, and that's what cold calling do. So number one, we have to check your action meter. Are you taking action? And if you are you taking calculated action? Meaning you have a coach or you have a course of someone proven, giving you the blueprint, all right, to get clients, okay? So you got to check that. Are you taking enough action? Are you taking calculated action, okay? Meaning, are you following a proven blueprint? Okay. How many calls are you making each day? Okay. How many calls are you making each day? Ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to sign clients up using the phone, using my strategy, you guys know I got a 4-step process where I call, interview, send information, and close prospects. If you guys want that proven system, click the link in the description. You guys can sign up for the Social Media Prospecting Pro course. You guys can get all the scripts and the rebuttals and the presentation I use. All those goodies are in there for you to copy and use so that you can be successful when it comes to making calls. But ladies and gentlemen, when I'm talking to most of my students and I know that they may not be getting clients or they're having issues, the first thing I want to know are your numbers. So I want to ask you today, if you were one of my coaching students, okay, and you came to me and said, Maurice, I'm not getting any clients, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what's your numbers? How many calls are you making? How many business owners are you talking to? What niches are you calling? Okay, what are you saying to them? When you get them, when you send them information, are you sitting down in front of them? Are you sending them an email presentation? Are you sending them to your website? What are you doing? All right? And I can probably guarantee you're not doing enough of what you're doing. And if you're not doing enough of what you're doing, it's not enough to get you the results. And if you want to be successful in making cold calls, you should be making a minimum of $100 to $200 a day. Okay, and that can be done within typically 2 to 3 hours. Okay. You should be making that many calls, especially if you're new and you're learning this skill set, because cold calling is a skill set. All right. And if you want to get good at it, you have to make enough calls. And if you're not making enough calls, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It won't be enough to push your rock over the wall, okay, so to speak. So you need to get good at the game, and you got to be consistent and persistent, and you got to do enough of what you're doing, okay? You make up in skill. Oh, you make up in numbers what you lack in skill. You make up in numbers, okay, what you lack in skill. And most of you guys are lacking the skill set, so you got to make that up with the numbers that you dial. Okay, so it might take you, it might take you 100 to get 2, or it might take you, 25 to get 1 or 2. It might only take me 5 because I have the skill set. So what am I saying? You have to sometimes double or triple your natural output versus someone who already has a skill set. So you make up in numbers what you lack in skill. So get on the phone and bust those calls out, because you're going to get better each and every day, and you're going to start having people to say yes, and you can set appointments with them, get in front of them, and present your social media marketing agency information and see if they're interested and they want to take you up on your offer, which 90% of the business has got to be online. And so if you make a decent, okay, presentation, all right, you should be able to get somebody to give you $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Okay. Next, how committed are you to building your social media marketing agency? All right. Most people are toe dabbing. Okay. You know how you go to the pool and you just stick your toe in? You got to see that pool instead of sticking your toe in. You got to go ahead and do that cannonball into the pool. Splash! If you want to get rich in social media marketing and get clients, ladies and gentlemen, then you have to be committed. And that means you got to go all in. You can't be in social media. You're in Shopify. You're doing this. You're doing ebooks. You're an affiliate. You're doing all this different stuff. And you have no focus. You have no commitment. It's almost like having 2 or 3 girlfriends or boyfriends. It's going to be difficult for you to have any chemistry with any one of them, okay? Because you're spread abroad, okay? You're spreading yourself thin. You got to commit to one thing. And when you commit to that one thing and you start to reap results, then you can possibly move on to another business. Once you get your agency up and running, you're making anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month. Okay, but you got to be committed. Okay, what do I mean? You got to invest in yourself. You got to hire a coach. You have to get the courses. You got to read the books. You got to get up early. You have to stay up late. You have to consume the information. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it takes. Think about if you wanted to be a doctor. You got to commit to 10 years without getting one nickel. Just think if you wanted to be an attorney. You got to commit 10 years. If you wanted to be a professional basketball or a professional football player, you got to do that your whole life. It takes a lifelong commitment. And it's the same thing with social media marketing. A lot of you guys have started social media marketing agencies. You didn't get any results and you're on to the next thing. And you're wondering, dang, Maurice, why did I? Because you was not committed. You didn't give it enough time. You have to give this thing a minimum of 6 months. The average business owners won't reap a profit for 7 years. Okay, 7 years they have to commit. If you get a McDonald's franchise, any type of franchise, you have to commit for a minimum of 7 years. And most of you guys are getting involved in SMMA, and guess what? You're not seeing $10,000 in a month, and you're out of there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's just not gonna cut it. You have to commit long term if you want to see any results. Okay, too many people are dibbling and dabbling in the SMMA and they wonder why, hey, they're not getting clients. They're not committed. So get committed, get focused, and you will get clients. Okay. Lastly, here's the question you guys have all wondered. How long does it take? Typically within your first 30 days, you can snatch up a client, either through a free trial or a regular presentation, okay, a regular offer, okay, however you want to call it. But typically, when I first got started, I got my client within my first 30 days. I think within like a couple of weeks, I had my first client. Made the calls, got in front of the client, and closed the deal. Plain and simple, okay? So typically within 30 days, if you're really serious, you could probably do it in a couple of weeks like me. Maybe even your first week. It's all about getting in front of that client that's ready to go. You never know who you're going to talk to who just opened a business, who are sold on social media, and they're just open and they're ready to go. You might call them up. They might ask you your prices. They might say, hey, sign me up. I'm ready to go. You never know. So typically within your first 30 days, all right? 60 days if you're dragging your feet, but typically from day one, within a 30-day period, you can have your first client. That means you're on the phone making dials. You have a schedule set up. You set aside 2 to 3 hours a day. You have the right scripts and rebuttals. All right. You have the right training. All right. You can do this within 30 days typically. Okay. Sometimes sooner. It just depends on how hungry you are. Because if you really need to get this done, let's say you wanted to make a couple $1,000s this week, all you really got to do is commit and say, hey, instead of 100 calls, I'm going to make 400 calls or 300 calls. So what you're going to do is do what we call compressed time frames. Normally, it would take you a whole week to get in front of, let's say, 100 people or 60 people or 200 people, whatever it may be. When you compress time frames, you double it up in a day. Now, instead of taking you a week, it's only going to take you a day to do what you normally would do in a week, but you're doing it in a day. So therefore, you're getting in front of more business owners, and guess what? You're going to close deals much faster. So that's another way to manipulate the system. You guys about to write that nugget down. That's how you really manipulate the system. Let's say a person wanted to make, $3,000 to $4,000, $5,000 a month. Okay, starting within their first 30 days. All they got to do is go through the courses, consume the courses within a 24-hour period, read their scripts over and over and their rebuttals, all right? Watch my videos over and over again, okay? And get on the phones and get with it. All right, that's all you would have to do. But most people are complicating social media marketing. It's an easy business. You just got to get good at the game. And most people don't want to get good at the game. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Most people have zero clients and they're sitting back watching people like myself and some of the other people online scoop up thousands of dollars every month by simply picking up the phone and getting in front of business owners. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the skimming. That's how long it takes to get your first social media marketing client. Don't give up. If you don't have your client, you say, Maurice, it's been longer than 30 days, that's fine. What I want you to do is click the link in the description. You can sign up for a strategy session. I can figure out exactly what's going on in your business, or you can sign up for coaching. And if you want me to coach you and help you guys get your first client, we can do that too. And if you haven't purchased the social media prospecting pro course, make sure you guys click that in the link, sign up for that, hit the subscribe, make sure you guys comment, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.